Tene ta tangbo ngadu deli kyoyen la tene ta de jisu ta kasen nima ni la jitang ondse na lama ge nyamlin je loma tsu kap kala chang chang dan dan do tene rajak banda yore de ina ya loma tsu nyamlin na nga lama kasakal cham tene ndabo ji se de gong ta kyoyen la de chen namba nyamlin na tu ji chi kyoyen.
First of all, I'd like to wish everyone good morning. And then over the past 2 days, sometimes when the lamas do the practice and the students go off and take picnics, it's okay. But you all practiced and I went for the picnic, and so I'd like to say excuse me. So thank you all very much for practicing.
So Tene ta kasin dantang la tene Mahar Rinpoche zepe tanda zochi tangurti chuparela zochi tangurti ta tanda zo tene jong chinsi umbuge tanda kalap nane tene Mahar Rinpoche la kalap nane tanda Changcha Rolpe Dorje ke tangurti pe ko devo ta tene ta che sei nyembo ndabo ta tende yoarela de la pe sene tene zopa chimbu ke tangurje zonggu gre sone kalap na wa tarto tene Mahar Rinpoche ke tanda zogjin tangurte zom na wa che ta tin delba te kembo kan kher ke na wa ti tai ne yubarela 다 다른 kapsula shuya te 다 tanda Changcha Rolpe Dorje ke tangurte la delba te tsawa te Changcha Rolpe Dorje ke sangyin ba ta tene tsawa te nju Mahar Rinpoche ke ta te Changcha Rolpe Dorje ke sang te ta chitang ke tawe ke ne te sapo ndabo yapon do gong ne ta te la delba tsam tende na wa ti kor ne shuge la
Last week we were discussing Mipham Rinpoche's song of the Dzogchen view. And this song of the Dzogchen view primarily happened because Jamyang Khyentse Wangpo gave advice to Mipham Rinpoche. He said, this song by Chankyur Rolpe Dorje, the song of the view by Chankyur Rolpe Dorje, is really easy to understand and it's really beautiful. And so if you take that as an example and write a song of the Dzogchen view, it'll be really wonderful. So that's the advice that Jamyang Khyentse Wangpo gave to Mipham Rinpoche. And so last week we talked about this song of the Dzogchen view by Mipham Rinpoche, and I explained it according to the commentary by Khenpo Gangshar Wangpo. And so this week we have the Song of the View by Chankyur Rolpe Dorje. So the root text was written by Chankyur Rolpe Dorje, and then Mipham Rinpoche realized that there's really important points and very profound points in this, and so because of that he composed a commentary on it. And so that is the subject that we will be talking about this week.
tene ta te ya pe on de se na tene Changcha Rolpe Dorje te tangur amangun se ne tene chuni ji tan te sanje dong chongju semba tam ji yom de ta bin pe chen na yom hira ji paru de chimba sungi yo la ta ti yom toni te yom ji namba la tene amala pe yo ne ngorte sumar je par la tene ta te yendo tanda zochin tangur Mahar Rinpoche zeba te la kandiri se na tene zopa chimbu ge sanje ne luk sam ripu ge ta ne te rikpa ge yihi che ngo te tene norbola pe ga ne tene zopa chimbu sanje ne luk te na wa re la tene ta tanda ngonju thomji la pe on de se na kamdar tanda amala pe ga ba tanda Changcha Rolpe Dorje ke amala pe ga par se paton Mahar Rinpoche zochin tangurla norbola pe ga par ta ten je on de se na tene ta te la ya te chi chik ten ra wa re te ten la te chi che par yo re la tene ta te ya Changcha Rolpe Dorje ke ten la pha pa ka so la zo toni ke ten par toni ke te la ta chitang ke toni ke te to go kre san je tam chi yom hira je paru du tsum ba sung yo ti toni ke te khande je re se na ta tandang ngaran so che yor je namba ta nan sen je namba la no ngu pon da tang ji kunzo tenrir ke no re kunzo tenrir ke no ti ke ne lu te la ta chi se na je yom ma du ngo rang yin ji tomba te la ta tanda ngaranzo tene ta sanskrit ke ga on tsena Dharma dato chu sungi yore la tene te tanda peki do joryo kapsula chu ji yang sis lo za wa tom ji ge jorna chu ji yang se du chu sengen de kandile sena chu de jitang ta tanda mangbo len ju ge yore te tanda tambi chu ngaranzo nyamsul len anda botan Teni Tegando Mupo Mambolan Jugiorete, Yinayo Chuji Yen Sedu, Chu Tomji, Mupo Kanga, Chanejinji, Nonji Senjin, Che Yol, Nangi Hiba, Kangala Chus, Dati Mupu Chus Truba in Bechana, Chus is on Yarla. Chug Nelu de Ranginji Muma Drupa, Tombeg Yen Tawaji in Bechana, Tela Chuji Yen. Ta Sanskrit ki Dharma Dhatu si Kapkala Dharma Ta si te peki to loza wa tamji ke jor yung du te la chu nye si ta chu tamji ke nelu ngo nye imbe chirna chu nye si sungi yo are la tini tanda ama te tangur ama ngun zinge kapche slabja te kana kogi yo are china chu chi yen tomba nye je nelu te ngo hi so runga imba la Tandi partu ngo mahi pa, tati ngo hi lawa imbecherna, tangro amangunze sunhari.
Now, in terms of the example that is used in this song, or the metaphor, the comparison that's made in this song, Chankya Rolpe Dorje uses, it's called the Song of the View called Recognizing My Mother. And so the Dharma expanse, the Dharma nature, or the nature of all phenomena, is the mother that gives birth to all of the Buddhas and all of the Bodhisattvas. And so she's called Prajnaparamita, the mother that gives birth to all the Buddhas. And so this mother that is emptiness here is given as the analogy of a mother. So in Mipam Rinpoche's Song of the Dzogchen View, what is the comparison that is made? The Dzogchen, the nature of the mind, or whether you call it the profound point of awareness, the essence of awareness, wisdom. The example given for that is a jewel. And so this is that is what is taught in the Song of the Dzogchen View, teaching that the nature of the mind. The example given here, though, in Chankya Rolpe Dorje's song is the example of a mother. So Mipam Rinpoche used the example of the jewel. And so in terms of how they are, there are many similarities in the words. Actually, there are many lines that are pretty much line for line. But there are some differences in the meaning. Chankya Rolpe Dorje is actually teaching primarily teaching emptiness. And when we talk about emptiness, then this emptiness is the mother that gives birth to all of the Buddhas, the Prajnaparamita, the transcendent prajna. And so whether we talk about the external environment of the world or the sentient beings who inhabit it, all these occur through the appearance of relative interdependence. But if you look at the nature of how they cannot be established as anything. Their essence is naturally empty. And so in Sanskrit, this is what is called the Dharma Dhatu in Sanskrit. And when it's translated into Tibetan, it's called the Chugi Ing, or the Dharma expanse, the expanse of all dharmas. So when you talk about the Dharma expanse, then what does it mean when we say Dharma? Well, the word Dharma has many different meanings. Sometimes we mean it as the true Dharma that we practice, or it can mean various different phenomena or various other meanings. And the meaning here, when we talk about it in the Dharma expanse, or the Dharma Dhatu, is that it is the emptiness nature of all external phenomena, of all perceiving internal minds, of all the environment of the world, of all the inhabitants. The very nature. The very nature of so when we talk about Dharma and expanse, that is what we mean, all phenomena. And then the nature of that is something that cannot be established as anything. It is the expanse of emptiness. And so that is why it is called the Dharma Dhatu, the Chugi Ing, or the Dharma expanse. That is how the translators translated the word. Then it's sometimes also referred to by the Sanskrit word dharmata, or the Tibetan word chunyi, or in English the Dharma nature. And so this is like the essence of all the way all phenomena are, the empty essence of all phenomena. And so here in this song of the view, recognizing my mother, it's the Dharma Dhatu, the Dharma expanse, the emptiness, and this is something that we have the possibility of recognizing. We just haven't recognized it up to now, but it's easy for us to recognize it actually, and so for that reason, it's like recognizing our mother, the song of recognizing our mother.
Tene tate tandige pete tene amala pega pata tente chuji yen la chuji yen de tangaranzo tangma depe sanji tamji ton tatangaranzo tamampala tan tombe chudu ndevunda wotobzi nubati kana yore sena chuji yen rangin ji ngo tomba imbata tene kunzo tenrije no and ranking ke madpa imbala tene toparinjuro imbicherna ta Tibetan Buddhism tarne jache somsomare tene tanda ngaranzo zoshin tangurgo on de sena tene zopa chimbote tanda chitang chi ngubote le hirat kalchimbo manawachi nang semi tela tene te nang semte tekala tene saltong songdun jupu ripa yi hijing oyin bicherna tene te pe onda sena norbula pe ka tenje onda sena semje nelu ripa yi hitela pe ka ne soyin bicherna ta tendo nengo andabote kana thuna ya jikwa andabote yungi yorede yena ya peren nika te singo ta te bandabo ta tende yore la teni tati ji so teni chujam tumbar mbochege tanda shoshin ke tangur sunarela shoshin ke tangur ti sun kapsula shoja chimbu tati zokshin ke tangur to shoshin ke tangur ni chebar kare yore sena zokshin tangur ke onde sena ripa te normal la peka pata teni shoshin tangur ke onde sena tamal ji si semji nelu te teni rang tumola peka pandawo jinse ne temba invecherna tati tendo shoja chimbuke nelu to zopa chimbuke nelu ta teni tanda tanguro amangun zinte uma chimbuke nelu te tate ten susu la tembare nengo andabo te kande ungara sena tikpa andabo jin yunga yore teni tsikden nide penen nibode susu la ten yore.
And so here the article that is, or the comparison is to a mother, and the meaning that is being compared to this is the Dharma expanse, the Dharma, the Dharma Dhatu. And so this is what had the power in the past to produce all of the Buddhas of the past. It is what now has the power to bring a result for us. And so where is this? What is this? This is the empty essence of the Dharma expanse. It is the fact that all of the relative appearances of interdependence cannot be established as anything. So that is the meaning that is talked about here. And so in terms of when it's a very vast point, a very important point here. Now in the Dzogchen Tagore that we discussed, the Dzogchen song of the Dzogchen view that we discussed last week, the Dzogchen, when we talk about Dzogchen, we don't really consider external appearances so important. Rather, it's the essence of our mind inside. It is looking directly at that, seeing the essence of wisdom, the awareness, the union that is the union of clarity and emptiness. And so, the example that is compared to a jewel. And that which is compared, the meaning, is the nature of the mind, the awareness, that is the essence of wisdom. So these two songs, they really come down to the same point, but the example that is given is different. It is compared to a different thing. What is being compared is different, but the point is the same. Then later, Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche also wrote a song of the view, a song of the Mahamudra view. And so in the Song of the Mahamudra view, it's where in the Song of the Dzogchen view by Mipam Rinpoche, the nature of Dzogchen is what is being compared is Dzogchen, the nature of all phenomena, the essence of awareness, and that is compared to a jewel. Well, in Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche's Song of the Mahamudra view, it is the ordinary mind, the nature of the mind, and that is compared to a girlfriend or a lover. And so the same thing, it's coming down to the essence of Mahamudra, the essence of Dzogchen. So in all of these songs, the Song of the Mahamudra view, the Song of the Dzogchen view, and in the Song of... So in Trungpa Rinpoche's song, he's talking about the nature of Mahamudra. In Mipham Rinpoche's song, he's talking about the nature of Dzogchen. And in Chankya Rolpe Dorje's song, he's talking about the great middle way. So these are different meanings that are being compared. But the essential point of all of them is the same. So the essential point is the same, but the comparisons and the meanings are or the object that is the comparison and the object that is being compared is slightly different.
Tene tateya sanji neluta ripa yichi jingo de ngote gamundu tati ngasumdun to nyamnyo ta lama che prajena je dangwa la tene gambe kapsula yungu yorela yungdu tela tene ta tanda shenji ge on shenji be on sena ngarang nyamnyo de kandi rindu ta sanji nelu de ngo ranging ge tomba imba tomba yinaya tombege salve koma kapa tene yeshi salve ngowote ye chopa jeda salve ngowote tanda tapa to mara be salve nowote ye yendola ngo tomba yimba ngo saltung sondun jupe netante ta tanda hinji ni tombo ngarange nyomnyoje nyomnyoje kapsala tene je senje noan raboje charge yorel senje noa tigi ngowote hinji kapsala tati salva tindirindu tomba tindirindu sone tene pa tagi tati ngarange hinji yorela tene tigi hinji wati yapoje ge tene tawati yapoje chamna tene nyomyo ge tawati yapoje yungi yorela tene teacher na zo ta chuin tomba nyeji yente ya tena papa te kalchewa imbe cherna kamdar ta tanda uma unatawa tangur ko onde siete tene zo chuji semi ge nelu te kamdar zo matimpa chuji yen tombe ngo te zo rutembare tembarella tene ti tembate pe kalchewa zaini moharum bochi ja telan derwa zam tene ta tela te yendo chinsirum bochi te pe yapondo sone tene tela pelone zochin ka tangur zong gu kulmana tene no insare.
Now, when we are meditating upon the nature of the mind or meditating upon the essence of the mind, when we're meditating on that, we have the experience that comes from direct perception because of the instructions of a wonderful Lama. We are able to do that. And so then when we need to distinguish what it is that we're doing, in my experience, the mind has the empty essence, but even though it's the essence is empty, the clarity of the mind does not stop. There's continual clarity. It's still able to be there's still allowed to be the clear wisdom at that point. And while that clear wisdom is present, at the same time, the essence is empty. So this essence of the union of clarity and emptiness, when we distinguish it, we first gain a little bit of experience about it. It's like there's this appearance, that mental perception of it. And then when we sort of really discern what the essence of that is, and we say, okay, this is the clarity, this is the emptiness, and we are distinguishing what they are. And then when we have really distinguished that very well, that is when we have the really good view, the strong view that we need for our meditation practice. And so in order to understand, to really fully comprehend this, we need to really comprehend and internalize the view of the Dharma expanse, the view of the empty expanse of emptiness. It is very important to do this. And so that is why here in the Song of the Middle Way view, the nature of the mind is not what is primarily taught. What is taught primarily is the empty essence of the Dharma expanse. And so Mipa Rinpoche, thinking this to be extremely important, wrote the commentary upon that. And then Khyentse Rinpoche, when he saw this commentary, said, "Oh, this is very wonderful," and encouraged Mipa Rinpoche to write the song about the Dzogchen view that is based upon this song.
Tene tati umetangula tangbo emaho samotenjung teni ngonsar jiji jembaro tempe lama kading kormi de new yo yes sonre la ta tambo cheje rabote sonre cheje de sundu de la tene tati nelu samote kandire sena tenjin reban jomare samotenjung sidi tenjin reban jom sidu de la ta nang tanda kunzub no ji charge yorela kunzub no de ten ran charge yore de ya te ngorang hinji tomba imbe junsin de che zon de sol tenge yore sen nang zimbe sana tenge nang zimbe san de sol tenge yore sen che zon la tenge yore parte zor tenge tini te la te tene tendre sedu te la te tene joan da bote mato tini nguni dembar chuba dodo na bo meba te hindu sapu nelu imbe chena pena ngaranso pari tsuri segi yoarela tini pari de kana in tsuri de kana in tentin yoamare sacham de hungon du de la tsuri se pajungon pari segi yang pajungon rodi pari de tsuri se tsuri de pari segi yoarela tini te suyin koyin tentin ra kana in met yoamare de inayan te tikap tanala yanda den rup du yanda boji imbechna tenjin drabarin juwa te la te tene en juwa da boji imbechna samo tenjung ga teni ngonsar ta ti tenjin drabarin juwa te khona ni te kandere sena rangin ji maduba tanda kunzu thulu no anda tana maduba tana tomba tomba yinna yo jin me ba teni pa yaln rojun rabo ni tende mahimba tene kunzo tendre ke no atin chardo ruwa imbe chena teni ngon sarwarela jiji jembaro tembe lama setati nguni salbo hakwa sin tembe lama te be kadin chimbore soni.
This Song of the Middle Way view opens on page 7 of your text with an homage. And so the homage reads, Emaho, the amazing reality of profound dependent origination is demonstrated by the Guru in a naked way just as it is. With your kindness unrepayable, please remain in my heart. And so here, what is this, the profound nature? The profound way things are. It is interdependence or dependent origination. These are synonyms. Interdependence and dependent origination are synonyms. And so this interdependence, this profound interdependence, is that relative appearances happen, they occur. They occur, but their essence is empty. And so they occur and they happen, but the essence of all of them is empty. Whether we are talking about the external things, the external appearances of everything depends upon our internal perceiving mind. Our internal perceiving mind depends upon the external appearances. The one depends upon the other. They each depend on each other. And so that is interdependence or dependent origination. What that means is that each happens because of the other. Actually, in the ultimate truth, there is no solid, truly established, real thing that is there. And so this is the nature of everything. It's just that everything depends upon each other. So when we say everything depends upon each other, what does that mean? That means that actually there's nothing that's really definite that you can say, actually, really like this. Like when we think about here and there. When you think about here and there, this is here and over is there is there. But for people over there is here and over here is there. We can't really say that one is the other. It's really, when you start thinking about it, which is which, you don't really know. You can't tell what is going on. So it's not definite what's going on with here or there or anything else. So nothing can be established as anything. They just all happen because of the connections of interdependence, of dependent origination. Everything depends upon each other. And so that is the way things are. And this is called the amazing reality. So this amazing reality is that things cannot be established, or really truly established as anything. And yet, the confused appearances of samsara are not established truly. They ultimately are not. They ultimately are emptiness. But just because they're ultimately emptiness, does that mean that they're nothing at all and that they just dissolve and go away? It doesn't mean that. At the same time as they're empty, all of these relative interdependences are able to happen. And so here, this is demonstrated by the Guru in a naked way, just as it is. So it's taught very quickly. And so it's because of the kindness taught very clearly, it's taught very clearly by the Guru. And so the Guru is very kind to us in this way.
Tene cutting horming the new UK is be massive cutting chimpore, lama the cutting chimpore. Cutting chimbo imbati, tachitang cutting tenla, pa langel dutela, teniperna, tanda panjur longe go in the cutting chimbochina, the telinjal to your pernangaraka. Panjur longe yapo chona, ta pajuti sur cutting jamati part and the panjal to your. Tejendo top dang athan la sope gonet cutting join, young around top dang athan chimbochi jona pa telintin jal to your. Tejendo upo, gitin jungupo kaina ya, cutting join, the part telin jal guna telin jal to your. You are at the yinaya tanda tombe chuge, that chunik nelu chetawa in the tene, cutting jamati, la part telin jal guna, telin jalu tap the Butani Yomare. Kariresiana, Tini Kong, Hara, that Tuba top, Chunik, Dembagasum Tony, Kong la Chunik, Dembagote against him, Kong Chetsari, Takat inside Yomari, Yaman Harang Gomni, Chunik, Dembati Yapoti to in Sena, Kona cut in Sabi Yomari, Tini teacher na, Tati cutting teller, Tini Jal Mutupa, Pe cutting Chimpuchi. That in the imbecherna, the lama de, the Ningu Usuke, the conquer, Chilam Nangi Nangi Ningu Usuke, so.
And so the kindness of the Lama is really extremely wonderful kindness, unrepayable kindness. And so usually when someone does something kind to us, you want to repay the kindness. And if someone helps us out, financially or monetarily or in terms of things, then that is a kindness that we can repay. When we get to be rich ourselves, then we can repay the other person. So we're able to repay that kindness. Or if someone helps us through their power and influence, then then when we become powerful and influential, then we can help them back. We can repay that kindness. So all of these are kindnesses that we can repay. And normally we want to repay kindness, but this kindness here is unrepayable. So when the kindness of teaching and demonstrating the profound Dharma nature as it is something that we cannot repay. There's no way we can do it. And why is that? Well, the reason is that, the Lama's been kind to us and he teaches us, and then we attain accomplishment and we directly realize the Dharma nature as it is. And then when we want to repay the kindness to the Lama, it's like, we don't need to point that out to the Lama and give him pointing out instructions. He's already realized that. And so there's no way to repay that. And similarly, when we meditate upon this, and we do really great meditation on this is not actually really repaying the Lama in any way at all. So it's kindness that we can't repay. It's really wonderful, excellent, the best unrepayable kindness. And so because of that, we ask him to please remain in the center of our hearts.
Tene emaho sinki tene pe nonsar chimpore se tangaranso yons trapata boje juma de la tatela misal kente hijab go samandu kasi ngaran yo demuta ando emaho de di akaga jo te yang ngosar chimpore chi.
And the word emaho is a word that you already know. It means amazing, wonderful. So you already know that, so I don't really need to particularly explain it. It was even like the other day when I went to see the yaks around here, it was emaho, the yaks are running over. That's right.
Tene ta te jeso zambar tam jawa de la zambar tam jawa de kongrin tolsung ge cheksam na o se ta kong ge ta kangrin tolsung singi de ta kong ge tula kan sharwa tolsung se du tene kong ge chuni ge nelu de jetawa yendo nyamsi nyong kapsula tene hot kala tene de tanda ndata ge chiden de train the Kong Soin, take something in the take you now, so a reason. Dervenam tat in the song Yorella. The Kong Sungi Yen, so at the Tachitanga Naranzo, Tanda, Nambasanjibe, Katan, thank you, Kainaya, Tenzola, Zamber Tam Jawa said that in the Nawarella. Then Zamber Tam Jawa, Tachitanga Tamchate, Mignon Betain, Rabotella, Nangi or
Next is the commitment or the pledge to compose this text, and it reads, I will utter 3 spontaneous words on whatever comes to my mind. And so, spontaneous words on whatever comes to my mind. So whatever it is that he thinks about, that's what it means by whatever comes to my mind. And then spontaneous means that when he saw the Dharma nature, the nature of all phenomena as it is, he has made had this experience of it. And so he's just saying whatever it was that came right to his mind at that moment, whatever he thought of, he just spontaneously talks about. And so when he says 3 spontaneous words, as the commentary explains, 3 means just a few. So he's just saying this is a commitment to explain, this is a pledge to compose, and so he's just saying, I'm going to teach this. So generally, when we have any Buddhist teaching, whether the words of the Buddha or any commentary, they always begin with such a pledge or commitment to compose. And this is as a support so that the commitment to do this will not weaken.
Tene ta te jeso tanda chitang toni ge nelu te chui ji yen ge nelu te ta rang jibo ta ji se go ne to pu chul yen so sa ji ge won de se na ji tu ji tong ba za lu chul ta kin ji pe go ne ta o men ri pa ten zu ge ta ji nang ne toni ge tan te zalwe ge chul de kan de se na ta ngaran so chitang Ama gemo de yiring torwa sunde ta gi hyuba yendo sanje tamji je parse be sonje tamji je kompon de kandi si topare se na chuji engineer lu tisipala tene sanje tamji je topare tene janju semba tamji jon kandi si ne sonju semba sa topare se na chuji engineer lu de chu tamji ge ne lu chetawa yendo zai ne tene sonju semba kompon togi ore teacher na pagi ji bi yom chemo se ta nyen tu tong rong song ji la so ba ten zo ge chu tam ji ge ne lu to ba re se na ma re te yin na ya sang ji tong shong chu sem ba sang ji ji sum be chu sum ba chu tu ba la te ni chong re sang ji kan di ni chen ba re se na chu ji yin ji ne lu si ba la te ni chong re se na teacher na yom chemo yom chemo te ta tanda ngaran so hirap himbu na la nasam jimi hirap paro zen machi mengo nongkang oni sosorong ri hi je yoro tusum jalwi yom na chansa lo se tusum ji sanje tam ji yom chemo ta yom amanda bo ji re so re la tin tanda ka khatu la ta yom se ni yesa majarwa che ta phalse in da bola amagemo te amagemo te ta ngaran so sonje to chonju samba tam ji pe yom te ya ta ngaran so ya maung pala sanje ke kompon to pa to sonju sembe kompon to pa ta son ho doji ti pe lone truba to pa nda bota to pa che par ji jil la che we ge jyoti kandire se na ta chuji engineer lu te imbe cher chuji samo tomba ni je nelu te imbe cher na te la amagemo si te yen rimbo torwa se ta tenga thoma mepa ni ta la thuk pa to la ngarang mani pare mahi pare manthon ware yen ren do torwa jipa ka go ne song tang ju ma ju re ngasam ka go ne jo ta ju ma ju re teacher na tene ta sang ji tam ji ji bi yam de amage mo de yen rimbo la tor song la song re tene te la song du te la pochung ta ti amage puting sore sina ngarang sore ngarang so tene ta tanda la song tene stage song lo ya bo tang ma hi ba chuji inji nelu de la song tang ma hi ba chuji inji nelu chu lo ha ma so ba de nyam ban da bo ji re tene teacher na pochung nyam ba nya ji ji tar de se ta nga country ri song in na tene ta te yen rimbo amade torware amade torware te amade tor go ge yo mare ama thinking te linking du ba te ngaran zo nyamdo tomba ni nelu de kunzu tender gen no to nyamdo yore ta tanda zopa chimbo ta shaje chimbo nelu on de sina senji nelu de ngaran zo nyamdo takpa yore te yina ya tela ta juma jumwa ta ma hi bandabu ta ma tu bandabu ji go ni tini te ngaran zo mani ba ta tendirela ama tenjin te lenjin du ba ngoma hi ba de hila ki no se ta tenga pa to ngoma hi ba re yina yo ji pa ga ta ji se ni repeat na pa o tomba ni de thorin bo je le yo samare ngaran su rong hin tomba ni insare sambando hila ka da bo ji chungare hi chu chu da bo ji so yin ba.
So this, the empty nature of all phenomena, the way the Dharma expanse, the nature, the Dharma Dhatu is something we can examine through inference. And so, in terms of the topics of this, and you will be handed the topics out later on this afternoon or tomorrow. The topics for this, the first of the topics here is explaining the way of searching for emptiness through the power of analysis. So how do we look at the nature of the emptiness through analysis? We can look through this. And so how is it that we do this? Well, it is as explained here in the next verse. It says, "It seems that I, this crazy child who has lost my old mother for a long time." And so here, my old mother, so what is it that gives birth to all the Buddhas? What is it that is the nature of the Dharma Dhatu, the way the Dharma Dhatu is? And so how is it that all bodhisattvas attain the bodhisattva levels? They achieve the bodhisattva levels by seeing the Dharma nature as it is, by seeing the profound nature of emptiness as it is. They become bodhisattvas, and so this is called here my old mother. When we talk about it in the treatises on Prajnaparamita, it says the indescribable, inexpressible, inexpressible, indescribable, and inconceivable Prajnaparamita, I prostrate to the mother of the Buddhas of all three times. And so when we talk about the mother of the Buddhas of all three times, if we, it's called the mother of all Buddhas, or we can say it in a more ordinary way, the Tibetan way of kind of saying mom is like old mother. So like old mother in Tibetan it's just sort of like saying, it's how they say mother, mom, in a very familiar way. So in a very familiar way, we're comparing it to our mother. So we talk about the mother of all the Buddhas is a very exalted term, and then just the regular term like the mother. And so this is the mother that gives birth to all of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And so it is because of this mother that all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are able to be here. And so why is it that there can be Buddhas and Bodhisattvas? Why is it that we can attain accomplishment through the practices of the Vajrayana? What is the cause of that? It is the nature of the Dharma expanse. It is the profound emptiness, the way that profound emptiness is. And that is compared here to an old mother. And so this old mother is someone that we have lost for a very long time. So lost for a long time means that from beginning of the samsara up until now, we have not recognized her. We have not known who she is. We have not looked for her through analysis and inference. We haven't looked directly to see with her. And so we've lost her. We've not been able to find about it. We have not thought about the profound nature of the Dharma expanse as it is. And so we have not looked for it, we have not examined, and so in that way we are crazy. We're the crazy little, this crazy child. And so what has happened to me? Well, we've lost mother. Well, actually lost the mother. It's just that she's not really lost. She's actually together with us she's been together with us all along. We just haven't thought about, and so here compared to a little child, and the little child here means us. And we have lost our mother because we haven't thought about her, we haven't looked for the profound nature of the Dharma expanse. And so what has happened to us? We've lost her, but she's together with us. And so when we say that we're about to realize by sheer coincidence my failure to recognize that my mother has been with me all along. So that she's been with me all along means that the empty essence is always together with the relative appearance of interdependence. It's just as in Mahamudra and Dzogchen, we're always the nature of the mind is always together with us. We just haven't looked for it. We haven't known how to look for it. We haven't been able to look for it. Because of that, we haven't been able to find it. But here, because of examining this logically through inference, then we see that she's not far from it. So I'm about to realize by sheer coincidence my failure to recognize that my mother has been with me all along. I'm about to see this mother.
Tene tate la tate kandi sinungo hibarisena tene tanda tohin kepala tene to ondutela jojo tenjun di ko to nyebe yin memende ein homo se tene jojo se de ta pinja gemba ndabo takka la tendri no de pinja gemba ndabo le pega kapje la abanda bol pega ne pagin double pega na yorela tinite jojo tenjun de tenjin draban jongate ta tendril kunzup kun hoanda tanda ngaran so jai rakpa ndabo chizung gi yoli na yempe tanda rakpa ndabo demba ndabo tinipe choyin ji yol ndabo ta tendela 통기 와래라 테네 단다 군습 텐들게 나와데 데 땡진 저번 중화지 땡니 또 점증고 볼은 통기요 말에 난그 생진 노아센 농그 넘버 또바 있나요 대견도 저도 모섬라 소바 넘버 또바데 락바 뎀바 다보 통기요 와래 통기요 와래 데 있나요 땡운이 또지시네 줍용 값슬라 chi no ina ya rangin ji madrup tomba ta chui bua ndabo ngo rangin ki tomba ndabo che madrupa che yimba nang sen je number to ba ina ya te tar do ngo rangin ki tomba yimba te ta ti nelu te tender kunzup tender ke nelu te ta tende ji warela te punja gemba la pe ga ne jojo tenjun ti ko de ni pe ta kunzup tender ke no la ta ji si undi te la tene amagemo te kavado hako hongo toni te kavado kunzo tendela tachi sedu te o tingo te toni rindo ga samte yin memente ein homo se yin sedu chai toni yin de pesonda bote memen sedu toni men de pesonda bote tene kunzo tendel ga no la tene memen de no charju yeba tene ngo ranking ki tomba imbala tene toni yin memente ein homo ein tate pachir toni de kunzup tendri ke no ala tachi sene tela tadu tene amagemo am chuji yin ngo ranking ki tomba te tene rimbe ke ngonche tatanda sozu gonde sena chi noa de kalchewa maimba nang seni de la taund nang seni de la taund ngo tomba imba te natane tati sem ngote und ngo tomba imba te che madupa noa che madu yendola tene tati che madu yendola che chardu ruwa imba tene kunzup tendel tong tendam chuni ni bote ngalgi yore besena tendam chuni sedu toni de kunzup tendel sedu kunzup noare noa tong tomba ni de tene parte na nona tong mehiba tona no me hipanda boji yorete yina yo kora chuni ngo de teta bu mai no yendolo ngo tomba imba ton yendola tene tanda jeryon chardo ruwa imba kunzo tender don chardo ruwa imba chena tene imemende ein homo se tate de soin.
So how is it that we realize that? How is it that we can recognize Mom? It's by analyzing. By analyzing this, we're able to realize the nature. And so here, it's in the next two lines. It reads, "My elder brother, dependent origination, explains her in a hidden way." And then the translation here could also be translated differently. It could read, "It seems it is, it seems it's not. Could that be it, I wonder?" So the line that reads, "So I think, isn't it that being is non-being?" You could also translate it as, "It seems it is, it seems it's not. Could that be it, I wonder?" And so this line, here the relative interdependence, the appearances of relative interdependence are compared to an older brother. So sometimes in this song they're compared to the elder brother or big brother, and then sometimes in the song they're compared to father or dad. And so here, these appearances of interdependence, the relative appearances, they seem very coarse, very strong and coarse. When we look at outer objects, they're very coarse and very strong. They seem like they're truly there. We see them as something that we can be attached to and fixated to, something that we can be greedy for. But this relative interdependence is just one thing that's, imagined based upon another. Everything is sort of ascribed based upon another. Similarly, when we think about all of the thoughts that we have on the inside, all of our thoughts of greed or hatred or of delusion, they seem very strong, very coarse, very true and real. But when we look at them, we can't find anything that can be established. There's nothing that we can establish. So whether we're talking about, we see that the external appearances are not by their nature established as anything. They're emptiness. They're like a bubble in water. They're empty. Similarly, when we look at our internal mind, we see that its essence is also empty. And so the nature of these appearances of the relative interdependences. This is what is called here the elder brother or big brother. So big brother is the relative interdependence, and because of looking at the elder brother, we can come to know what the nature is. We look at interdependence and we can see what the nature is. So when we examine and analyze relative interdependence, then we can see that their nature, that their essence is empty. And so then it reads, "It seems it is, it seems it's not. Could that be it, I wonder?" And so when we say it seems it is, then sometimes it seems like it is empty. And it says, it seems it's not, then sometimes it seems like it's not empty. It has these different ways of hearing. And so when we look at the relative interdependence, sometimes it seems like they're true, sometimes it seems like they're not. The essence of them is empty. And so when it says, "Could that be it, I wonder?" then it says, "Is this? I think that this is how it is. I'm pretty sure that this is how I'm going to get to recognize my mother." So it's by looking at by analyzing the relative interdependence, that we can come to recognize Mom, the old mother, the nature, the empty essence of the Dharma expanse, and we can come to recognize and come to know her again. In the practices of Mahamudra and Dzogchen, we don't really pay so much attention. We do not consider the external appearances so important. Rather, we look inside at the essence of the mind. And when we look at the nature of the mind, we see that it's emptiness. It cannot be established as anything, but at the same time, it can occur as anything. It can happen as anything. And in the same way, we have here the relative interdependence and the ultimate emptiness. So the ultimate emptiness is emptiness, and the relative interdependence is appearance. And sometimes it seems to us like, when something is empty, there's no way it could possibly appear. And it seems that like when something's appearing, there's no way it could possibly be appearance. But that's not how it actually is. At the same time as everything appears, it is empty. And yet at the same time as things are empty, they can still occur in any variety of different ways. The relative appearance can appear as anything. And so sometimes it seems it is, sometimes it seems it isn't.
yin singing te dembra trup de pana yin che imba kunzup tender ke no ate imba ndabo jela mimi singing te kap kala ngo tomba imba ndabo tate ta hi tomba te yin ta kunzup te mimi nder sona te ni te te nor sona yin te kunzup tender ke no ate dendro tabu ke no bata mimi te kap kala toni ke no bata bo yin nyomo sundu 당가란서 지복 따지 집에 값을라 혀와래라 되니 단다 추지 연당 생리게 내루니라 제발 가래요레선 추지 연세도 자체 좀 따게요레 추탐지 뭐랑 인기 동바이 발랐다 아테네 따니 지복 때는 파고요레 되니 단다 생리게 내루도 리바이 희정오 순도 간데 때는 파고요레선 추지 연지 세로지 추지 eng진하는 제 노아티게 주님만인바 난그 샘지 내루기 주인이 대장과라 무성니 대태가라 못대바인베 쳤나다티 탑지 온드시나 근데 자체와라 만주와 자 충산이 제 생이 그 내루도 또잖아 추지 eng진 내루도 랑킹게 또 온다고 보제 그다음도 라숭기요리
I'm sorry, my explanation of that last line was wrong. I said, I'm sorry about the mistake. When it says it seems it is, then what that means, it seems that sometimes it seems like the interdependent appearances are true. They sometimes seem to be true. When it says it seems it's not, that means sometimes it seems like they are empty. So I'd like to apologize for making that mistake. So here, when it says it seems it is, that means that things sometimes seem to appear. When it says it seems it's not, that means that sometimes we see that actually things seem to be empty. We can grasp the emptiness in there. And so this is how it appears when we analyze things through logic and inference. Now here we've been talking about the Dharma expanse, and sometimes we also talk about the nature of mind. And you might wonder, what is the distinction between these two? Well, the Dharma expanse is something that's vast, it's huge. It is the nature of all phenomena. That is the empty nature of all phenomena. This is something that we can internalize and something that we can comprehend comprehend and internalize through inference. When we talk about the nature of the mind, the essence of awareness, then this is like a subset of the Dharma expanse. It's not worrying about the empty nature of all external phenomena. Rather, it is just recognizing the emptiness, the Dharma expanse, the Dharma nature, the phenomenal nature of the nature of mind. And so it's not as vast. And the reason for doing this is it's like a method. Sometimes when you realize the nature of the limited part, then you can naturally come to realize, when you realize the nature of the limited aspect of it, then you can naturally come to realize the vast nature of the Dharma expanse.
Tene tate kunzup tanda le tangpo patamji ji toni te tene tanda toni te jipo go ne tate te singo hi pandabo ta kunzup tende la tene chutamji ngo rangi tomba imba te to topa ndabo ji ingu yoarel hina yan ti jipo go topa ti ne kap Zawan Raboji paint over in a paint over you are in a catula, then the chutam Tony in Bangihi, Batamji, then Aran Corvidungal, job to you are a job to you are Marilla, Tinita Telatene, neck up Daisy, Mixal Sonum Jutsu Gupatembati, Zunzing Natsu, the Amen Zomba, Jenjin Ponger and the Amen Zensi, Flumi Amai call Luso. 다 준진 치중이 요르던 난점베 셈 넘버 나츠보 샤르게 요아레 치 노아요 샤르게 요아레 난센지 넘버 토바요 mambo 샤르게 요아레 샤르완데 가리리세나 데니 다 아마 취지 연제 좀보 넘주른다 보지 템바레 다티 넘주른다 보지라 취지 연제 넘주른다 보지레 마도 다 취지 연제 only 만데바 취지 연제랑 돈이 only 만디 yendola kunzu tendir gen no ate harge yorela teacher na amen zombaase ta amigen zom temba nda bujisi jenjin ponjurunda amen zense ise tini kapkala kunzu tendir gen no hardu tela kapkala chewa lenge yore kapkala chewa yung yore kapkala dungal namba na soba yung yore ponjur sena jurwa namba na soba yung yore Devani Dungalan Jurgiore, Dungalni Devalan Jurgiore, Tateta Motop ranking, Nambache Hargiorella, the Ame Zinsi, Amig Tazin Labanagiri, Ten Tombala, Amalan Jurvayo Mari, Chutan Tombaniri, Tombaniri, the Ina, no number Natsuba Hargiore, the Latini Chienche and Ponjur Dungal, Motop Nabanatsuba Hargiore, the Amag. Amiga Jagzin Labana Hijire Lumi Amai call Luso Setini Titan Gatsiana, that Chutam Chicken Nelu Chuji and the Sanjitam Jibi Yum Yembecherna Tig, Go Kortan Tanda Marete, Yena Tanda part of Korwa Tuma Mepane Tala took apart the Amatiget Nita Narana, Jap Gam Mazipa, Lujapa Rabochi, Yungi Orella, Lujapa Tele. Tarvig tap de Karichi Gugi Yorisena, Kunzu Tendrigan no one dig job Gugi Yor, Kunzu Tendrigan no one del, Michi Sunum Jitsu, Tinisunum Saw, Gawa Drew, Digba Pon, Tatindis, neck up Korva Dungalda, Niensong Dungali, Jogi Yorella, Jojo Tenjun di Jopper, Tendrigan Noati, Koranga Muni, Tendrigan Noati Ran, Pechini. Tini samba samba kunzu sonju kuchu semki tiala tini sonam jisu paru tu tsamba tula tsen gewe sawa dro dipa megewa tinzo pang tini ta te tabu go ne neka tini ngen songa dungal tang korwe dungal li tapa rewachi gugi yore re mato tini jipa ge ngeshi jipa tsomchi korwa li tartugi yore visine tartugi yore mare sonisa.
And so this is a description of how beginners need to approach emptiness through analysis and through logic. And so here the relative appearances, the nature of the relative appearance, relative interdependence is actually the naturally empty. All phenomena are naturally empty, and so we can come to understand that everything is emptiness. But does just knowing that help us? It does help us on a fundamental level, but it doesn't always help us immediately in the short term. And so does just recognizing that everything is empty protect us from the suffering of samsara right away? It doesn't. And so for that reason, what the song next teaches is how in the short term we need to practice, we need to gather merit and so forth in order to protect ourselves. As it reads, the various kinds of perceiver and perceived are mother's smiles, while birth, death, and change are mother's lies. I have been tricked by my mother, by my undeceiving mother, so I hope to be saved by my elder brother, dependent origination. And so when you talk about the various kinds of perceiver and perceived, there are all the external things that we perceive. There is the internal perceiving mind. So external things happen. The thoughts of the internal perceiving mind happen. And so what are these like? Well, these are like the smile of the mother. It's like the mother smiling at us. They're like an expression of the Dharma expanse, the expression of the Dharma Dhatu. It's because they come within that. They do not transcend the Dharma expanse in in any way. Without transcending the Dharma expanse, all of the relative interdependence can still occur and still happen. And so this is like the mother's smile. So sometimes when we have all these relative appearances, we have, while birth, death, and change are mother's lies. And so sometimes in relative appearances, we have the appearance of being born, we have the appearance of death, we have the appearance of change, we have the appearance of happiness changing to suffering, we have the appearance of suffering changing to happiness. Everything is transitory and impermanent. So this is sort of like an expression of the nature, but it's like our mother's lying. It's like mom's lying to us. Actually, the ultimate nature does not change in any way. The emptiness of all phenomena is unchanging, but there are the various appearances that do occur. And of these various appearances, there are some like the birth, death, and change, and these are like the lies of the mother. So I've been tricked by my undeceiving mother. Well, actually, when you think about the Dharma expanse, the nature of all things, the mother that gives birth to all the Buddhists, there is no way that this mother could deceive us in any possible way. But up until now, we haven't looked for her, we haven't recognized her, we haven't known her. She hasn't been able to practice, she hasn't been able to protect us in any way, and so we're left behind. And so what is it that we need to do in order to liberate ourselves from that? So I hope to be saved by my elder brother, dependent origination. So when we talk about dependent origination or interdependence here, this means that we need to use the referential practices of gathering merit. We need to gather merit, do good things, we need to practice the paramitas, we need to give up misdeeds and non-virtue, and then in the short term this can protect us. In the short term this can help us protect us from the sufferings of samsara and from the three lower realms. And so we hope to be saved by the big brother, interdependence. And so this means we need to practice gathering merit, we need to practice the 6 paramitas, practice, do virtuous things and give up non-virtue. And then in the short term, this can protect us. And so we have the hope for this. And so what this is implicitly teaching is that that inference alone is not able to completely liberate us from samsara.
Tene tatanda tanda chuji enji nelu gomba kapsala nelu la repeat taji chipe kapsala ni hiji kapsala te tabu yungu yuarela tanda ngusum to ngotepa semi nelu gutenda sozo gmengo gutenda ngotepa yinaya tati kapkapla tini topa te che tati changpa gndisare sambata bo yungu yuar kapkala a tati ge tanga tacha tanda tortu ndugu sambata bo yungu yuarela tela pembe ge tapkari chi gugresena jojo tenjun di chopar rene taten tendriga onto sena tsusa drabajang teni perna ngaranso chazu ge menga gamba kapsala kandi chege yuarese tumo impe ngandro namba yawo jang tini senam ji tsu so dipa migewa atang number to patong nyemo berdebat tenzu jang doji sempe gamde la so patay mangbo thumna bom thumna yondra thumna yondra tong thumna yondra ta kasi tutu ge tsena tini ti jojo tenjun ti chopar re remji jesal tom roge yore re la ta ti tendo kamna ta ting tene tanda tanda kandi yungi waresena nomba cheto na amagemo kone tenji ne trowarete tene tati nguni sena ta tanda nguni ge trova topa tubu ko kombo ngun chudung tumong ngudu topa ta kandi sini yungi waresena nomba cheto na amagemo ta chuji yen ngo rangingi tomba senyi ge neluti te kone tenji ta tela yapoji gomtumna ti nekap kunzup tendeji tsusa te pelwe ge to ndabuji rela te yapoji hipi ge tap ndabuji rela tini ti tenji tini nguni ge chuni ge neluta senyi ge neluti to na trowar rete trol tubi yore trol tupati 추탐지 라힌 ngotomba imbala ten dortu yore ta 추탐지 단다 염치모 동반이 추지 인지 내루 공도 예발라 ten dortu yore 마도 당가란서 군접 텐들게 노한데 체중이 요도 논 점베산 데니 ndekoi ndeni ko chitara ndatra yena dende ran koran dembar truba ngupur truba ji yena tanda ta tin mata pa ta njurwa ta chenchi ponjur to zungzin na zu de ngune tani koran njurwa me pa ji yena ndatra yena tusam jalwe chong job tap mandu tin tusam ji sanji tam ji sang na job tu yo mare tindi rebesina tindi job tu yo mare Mare te yina ngaranzo kalba zambo chungwarela. Kalba zambo chungwati teni chuji yen yomche muti pangna yeba. Ta ngaranzo tagarang neba. Chuji yen ji nelu te chitawa yindo to chushu rabo che. Kunzup tenrilge nonwa tong chuji yen ni rangin ji yer meba la yeba la tenne. Tini te sanji tong shongju semba tamji ji ngaranzo korwe dongan le chopa tong tarba tong tamji jembe kompong le ge toba yungi yo re.
And so here, talking about the nature of the Dharma expanse, the empty nature of all phenomena, we can. This is developing analysis through it, and through that developing real certainty. And this is what happens when we have the certainty. But there is also the direct perception of seeing it actually through through Mahamudra or Dzogchen. And sometimes when we practice Mahamudra and Dzogchen, we feel like I've got it, that's it. And sometimes we feel like, oh, is that it or is that not it? I'm not quite sure which one it is. And so when that happens, what is it that we need to do to help ourselves? Well, we need to work with the relative interdependence. We need to gather merit. We need to purify all our misdeeds and instructions. And so this is why in the instructions of Mahamudra and Dzogchen, we have the common and the preliminary, the common and the special preliminary practices where we gather merit, where we purify misdeeds. We do Vajrasattva and the other practices. So whether we do 100,000 of these, or whether we do 10,000 of them, or whether we even do 1,000 of them, no matter how much we do, it's just going to gradually get clearer and stronger and better and better. And so what happens when we are actually meditating upon it? Well, it is as it continues here, it says, but from a certain perspective, it is through the kindness of my old mother alone that I can hope for liberation. And so actually, when we look at it, really what it is, it's the nature of all phenomena. Or when we talk about the common or the preliminary accomplishments that come out, how is it that these come about? These come about through meditating upon the Dharma Dhatu. They come about through meditating upon the nature of the mind and knowing the way that it is. It is only through the help of that, only through the kindness of my mother alone that I can hope for liberation. So when we meditate upon that, well, then we will when we meditate upon that ultimate nature, then if we also meditate upon the relative appearance, then that is the companion that helps that develop. It helps us to understand it better. And so but actually, it is from its own part. It is the nature of the mind. It is the nature of the Dharma expanse that can help us accomplish anything. It is because of the empty nature of all phenomena that we have a hope for liberation. It is because of that we are able to be liberated. This empty nature, my old mother alone. This is the mother who gives birth to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. It is the empty nature of the Dharma expanse, and it is through that we will be liberated. So that's what it means when it says that I can hope for liberation. And so when we talk about but in terms of the relative interdependence, there are the external perceived objects and the internal perceiving minds. And so if those perceivers and what they perceive were just as they are, so if those perceiver, the internal perceiving mind, and what they perceive, the external objects that they perceived, if they were really, truly, some sort of truly established, really existing thing that was really there, that didn't change and wasn't there, then there'd be no way that we could be saved, even by the Buddhas of the three times. If they were not impermanent and transitory, but rather if they were actually stable and unchanging, then even the Buddhas of the three times would not be able to protect us. They would not be able to save us in any way. But we actually are pretty fortunate there, because it's not how it is. But since these various changes are the expressive moods of my changeless mother, there's a chance for liberation. And so it's like we are in the lap of our mother, the Dharma expanse. And so we're right there. And this is the nature of the ultimate nature of the Dharma Dhatu. It is how it is. And if we're ready to realize it. And so the Dharma expanse and the relative independence are together all the time. It is this that gives birth to all the Buddhas, and it's because of that all the Buddhas and all the Bodhisattvas are able to protect us and able to bring us to liberation and omniscience.
namjuri imbina torjurundu ko se tatanda an korwege nendana kunzo tendirge no harde pe kapsula njurwa naso baje tamata pen njurwa je ga nan che la so ba mamboje yungi yore de yinaya de tine njurmi amati chuji yenge toni ngoni tinjurwati yundege yore ko ngo madu yendola njurwati yundege yore ngo madu yendo yimba ngo mahina tini tinjurwati dungal jikto namba natso pa yungi yore mato te toni ngo yimba ngonche te ngo hi ne te nelu di chatawa yendo ngand jorna tini namjuri imbena torjurndo go tini te dungal ke mane pato namto to niemo be mane pati yungtu ge yore ngo ranking ki tomba madupa tati kunzo tendrige no ati tendril zongire mato tena jeyo madupa imbena tini korwale tartu pata niemo bali tortu pata tini yungu yore.
So, but since these various changes are the expressive moods of my changeless mother, there's a chance for liberation. So, all of the relative interdependence occur, and all the changes that happen. We do in samsara, we do experience birth, aging, sickness, and death. They do occur, but they are all just the expressions of my chainless mother, of my changeless mother. It's like they happen within the expanse of emptiness. They happen within the Dharma expanse at the same times as things cannot be established, do not truly exist. They still appear. But we just don't recognize that. And because we don't recognize that, we experience suffering and we experience fear. But if we realize that nature of how they are, if we realize the empty essence, if it's pointed out and we recognize it and then we directly see it, then there's the chance for liberation. Then we will be freed. Then the sufferings and the various different thoughts and problems we have will not be able to harm us in any way. They cannot be established as anything truly. They don't really truly exist. So they're just interdependence that happens. They cannot be established as anything at all. And so for that reason, there is a chance for liberation. So is that enough for this morning?